the hegemonic struggle will soon be over, forever. Those who study dynamic systems will be well aware that in the long run the system moves to complete dominance. With the introduction of the global autonomous surveillance and response system, it will be the beginning of the moving to complete dominance, the beginning of the permanent removal of the hegemonic struggle, because it will have balanced and be in permanent position, unchangeable. So humans are reasonably good at picking up on subtleties in facial micro-expressions, voice stress, body language. I mean especially those who are analytical. But oftentimes in government there are many people who are also unaware whether or not they're being manipulated by a close friend. I feel that with the global autonomous surveillance and response system, it will be able to have all the human instruction manuals in it. So I suppose if there was a foreign spy trying to manipulate a government worker, as well as the system detecting their manipulation, the system will also be able to determine which government they're from, because each of the human trade manuals has slight differences which I suppose can determine the origin, I suppose, where the foreign spy comes from, as well as detecting them as a foreign spy. Cognitive bias manipulation is an important part of working in clandestine services. That is, as for those who work there, it may in times lead to the difference between life or death. So they often may want to test out when they meet someone. They first of all work out their personality style and from that their predisposition to certain cognitive biases, and then test it out, because if the person hasn't tested it out, they don't know it will work. So I suppose they have to get practice. I suppose through doing the testing is a way of tracking who they are, tracking back to their government, because the different governments have different approaches to this in their protocol. It's all about having the system as a system which can both understand the meaning of the words and also the process behind the words, I suppose the intentions for the words. The reason why people choose to engage in certain meetings. So there is the surface meaning, and also there is the meaning based upon how the interaction plays out, which may at times be quite different to the surface meaning. There are the words which are used, and also the reason for the words and how the sentences are put together. So those who are particularly analytical may be able to construct sentences in a way they can completely obscure the intention for knowing certain certain things which are important to them, but may be coming across as being a minor detail to the person who is telling them. So I suppose obviously a government employer probably wouldn't just openly talk about classified stuff. I'm saying they may possibly allude to things or certain details which they may consider unimportant, but I'm saying which may be important. And I suppose the skillful human work is able to make what's important to them appear unimportant and able to get the information they need via what some might call trickery. So they use their cleverness to deceive their intentions. Obviously, most human work comes from being planted or placed in a double O role against an organisation, but to get there oftentimes can require the help from friends they meet to help to give them a good recommendation and other information too. So I feel as though it's all about people working with what they have to get what they need or want. So but there is, some might consider it as there is a target, a present situation, a gap between where you are and where you want to go. So people may use their resourcefulness and possibly may improvise to try to get from where they are to where they want to go across the gap, using the resources and the friendships they form to help to bridge the gap. Divided we are defeated, together we unite. So by enlisting the support of others, those in humans obviously they have a real skill when it comes to understanding people. That is something I feel I don't have. It's all about, I suppose, having the understanding and also having the exceptional interpersonal skills to be able to influence, whether that be using very tricky and advanced capacity and understanding of the person's personality and their cognitive bias, weaknesses, and other areas too, to be able to create influence. And I feel as though by having an impressive global autonomous system, surveillance response system, we'll be able to detect this cunningness, which I suppose... gotta go. Wish you well.